Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and yes, I am finally back. For those of you wondering where I was on vacation with my girlfriend, but now I'm back. So sorry, I was a little bit MIA, guys. I tried to still record stuff in advance, and I had my brother do an episode. I hope that was all right for you. I told him exactly what to do, exactly what to say. I gave him the guys to tell you guys who to pick up. So everything was still my own content. I just was not able to make that specific episode. I am back though. Hope you guys didn't miss me too much. And for today's episode, we're doing our standard weekend episode where I tell you guys which guys you should consider picking up to help you secure your win. And this week is particularly important in a lot of leagues because it is the fantasy playoffs. In some leagues, it's already started. So if you really do need the win, this episode should be very helpful for you. Before we get started though, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow me on Twitter. I'm going to tweet out a lot this week and in the coming weeks to help you guys really secure your wins and try to get out all the latest information that I can to help you guys win each week of the playoff. My Twitter is Fantasy Tipped. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the schedule, and you can see it here on the screen. There are 14 teams that play on Friday, 18 that play on Saturday, and 18 that play on Sunday. So there is no real heavy night, but there's not a really light night either. So go ahead and check your schedule and see what you can actually fit, because the nights are pretty similar. So maybe you're able to fit someone all 3 nights, but maybe you can only fit someone Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. So go ahead and see what you can fit, and then you can adjust what part of the video you watch based on that. The first section is going to be Friday and Saturday games, then Friday, Sunday, then Saturday, Sunday. So let's start off with players that play on Friday and Saturday, and there are only 2 teams that have that, and that's St. Louis and Tampa Bay. So if you do really want to stream someone for both Friday and Saturday, the number one guy to stream would be Alex Killorn, who's now playing on the second line, but still is playing on the top power play and has started to play significantly better than he was a couple of weeks ago. So that's nice to see. He's definitely the number one guy to pick up. Then Anthony Cirelli plays on a line with Killorn. He's the centerman on that line. It's a second line in Tampa Bay, which is pretty good. Doesn't get top power play time, but he has been decent recently, which is why I wouldn't mind picking him up. Then I have Robert Thomas, who's back between Tarasenko and Buchnevich, which is an awesome place to be. Great deployment there. Brandon Saad, who's playing top line with O'Reilly and Perron. Great deployment there as well. Ivan Barbashev is a little bit cold, but is on a pretty good line with Braden Shen, so I don't mind that as well. And I have Colton Parayko. I don't usually list defensemen here, but the rest of the guys on this list aren't that great, so Colton Parayko is better than some of the other guys that you can consider picking up here. And then I have Brandon Hagel of the Tampa Bay Lightning playing on their third line currently with Nick Paul and Ross Colton, the next 2 guys on this list. And that's why they're all there. None of them I'm overly crazy about, but if you're desperate and you need someone, those guys are definitely pick-up-able. And then I have Corey Perry, who's now playing on their 4th line and is ice cold. But if you really are desperate and somehow Hagel, Paul, and Colton are all taken, Perry is a desperation option. Moving on to players that play on Friday and Sunday now, and there are quite a few teams that play on both days. Anaheim, Arizona, Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, Edmonton, the Islanders, the Rangers, Ottawa, Seattle, and the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, the number one guy that I would consider streaming is Brock Nelson of the Islanders. He's actually been really good all year, and lately he's been phenomenal. So definitely number one streamer there, and he's available in a lot of leagues. Then I have Anders Lee, who also is on fire right now. He hasn't been as good all year. He was honestly pretty terrible for the majority of the season, but now he really is on fire and definitely a great streamer. And then I have Dylan Strome, who's playing top line and top power play with Chicago right now, and he is red hot. So as long as he stays hot, guys, Dylan Strome is an excellent streamer and definitely someone you can consider keeping on your team as well. Josh Norris is another guy. He is a keeper on your team, but if you can stream him for this weekend, if that's what you need, definitely a solid stream for the Sens. Plays top line, top power play with Tkachuk. Then Andrew Kopp of the Rangers has been excellent since arriving in New York and is playing on a line with Panarin, and he is producing. So definitely someone I'd like picking up right now. Then Nick Schmaltz of the Arizona Coyotes plays top line, top power play with Clayton Keller. Great place to be. Pretty good. He's been playing pretty well, so don't mind that. Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres has been their best player all year, and he's producing. He shoots the puck a lot, so he gives himself a safe floor, and he is putting up points. Then I have Jakub Vrana of the Detroit Red Wings, plays on their second line, but also plays on their top power play, which is pretty solid, and he has been producing, so I don't mind him. Then I have Jeff Skinner of the Buffalo Sabres, plays on the line with Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch, and lately has been producing, so do not mind that pickup there. Then I have Frank Vetrano of the New York Rangers, plays on that top line with Zibanejad and Chris Kreider, and that's an amazing deployment for him, and he has been producing, so I like that. Evgeny Dadonov suddenly is producing. Now that that trade was rejected, looks like he's lit a fire under his butt, and he's actually putting the puck in the net. He's getting assists. He's looking really, really good. So as long as he stays hot, guys, Dadonov is someone I do not mind adding. Adam Henrique, I have a star there because he is injured at the moment, but it is day-to-day. So if he's back, he's someone that I do like to stream for this weekend. Then Yanni Gourde of the Seattle Kraken has been really hot lately, so don't mind the streamer there. Jesse Puljujarvi plays on the top line with McDavid. Jared McCann has been their best player all year in Seattle, so don't mind the streamer there as well. Taylor Radish, only 2% rostered, but the dude's playing on the second line and also on the top power play and is really, really hot. So definitely a solid streamer there and someone that you can add in deeper leagues as well if you need someone to add for the rest of the playoffs. Then I have Alex Tuch of the Buffalo Sabres, and he's been pretty cold, but if you need someone and there's nobody above him on this list that is still available, I don't mind Alex Tuch as a streamer for this weekend. Then Kyler Yamamoto of the Edmonton Oilers is now playing on the second line with Draisaitl, so I don't like that as much as being with McDavid. He had a lot of chemistry there. He was even playing on the top line and top power play. So it doesn't make much sense that they took him off the top power play and off the top line. It doesn't make a lot of sense. He was their hottest player. Anyway, but now that he's off that top line with McDavid and off the top power play, I don't love him as much. But he's definitely still an option and definitely still can put in some points. Hopefully he can continue that hot pace. Then I have Lucas Raymond, plays top line, top power play in Detroit. He's not the hottest right now, but he's not overly cold either, so I don't mind the streamer. Anthony Beauvillier, who's playing pretty well right now. Chandler Stevenson, playing top line with Dadonov and Jack Eichel. It's a pretty good place to be. He's not top power play like Dadonov is, but he's still a solid streamer. And I have Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators, plays a second line and top power play, playing decently well right now, so I don't mind streaming him. Nicolas Roy, who's still manning only their third line as a center. He's doing pretty well, though, over the last couple of games, so I'll give him a stream if he's available. And then I have Jean-Gabriel Pageau of the New York Islanders, who's been relatively decent lately, and if he's available, definitely someone that you can consider streaming. And he's also really good for face-off wins as well. Now, if you need someone for Saturday and Sunday, there are 5 teams that play on both Saturday and Sunday, and that's it. Dallas, Florida, Minnesota, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. Now, the number one guy to stream for me is Nico Hischier. He's been unbelievable the past few weeks and is definitely the number one guy that I would go for if he is available in my league, and he's available in 2/3 of leagues. Then I have Joel Eriksson Ek of the Minnesota Wild, only 48% rostered, so he's available in a little bit over half the leagues, and he's been pretty good lately as well. Cam Atkinson is someone who's playing top line, top power play in Philadelphia, someone who's been playing very well. Marcus Foligno is a little bit colder as of late, but is still playing on a solid line, and I do like his peripherals. And I have Mason Marchment of the Florida Panthers, and I'll throw in Lundell there as well. They're both playing on the third line of Florida, assuming that Lundell is back. He's sick only, so I assume that Lundell will be back this weekend. And Verhaeghe I have there as well, and he's playing top line with Alexander Barkov, so that's a pretty good place to be. I have Jamie Benn next, who's playing on the second line with Seguin and Gurianov in Dallas. That's not terrible. Jamie Benn hasn't been particularly great this year, but he hasn't been that bad. Then I have Travis Konechny and Joel Farabee of the Philadelphia Flyers, and they're both playing on the top line in Philadelphia. They're both playing very, very well right now. So honestly, 2 really solid streamers right now. Then I have Matt Bolte, who's kind of cold right now. Still playing on a good line, though, with Fiala and with Frederick Gaudreau. So I definitely think he could rebound, and I don't mind picking him up around this range. Then I have Kevin Hayes of the Philadelphia Flyers, who has been given an increased role just because of all the injuries in Philly. And because of that, he's been playing pretty well, although he hasn't been as good the last couple of games. Then Jordan Greenway has actually been scoring some goals lately on that line with Ek and with Marcus Foligno. So he's a pretty good streamer in deeper leagues. JVR has been putting up some points. Good streamer in deeper leagues as well. Frederick Gaudreau, who I already mentioned, he's been putting up points every couple of games or so. That's basically what you can expect from Gaudreau. And then I have Dawson Mercer of the New Jersey Devils playing on this top line with Jack Hughes, which is not a terrible place to be. And if you need defenseman, the number one guy to grab is Radko Gudas of the Florida Panthers. The dude's an absolute wrecking ball. So in leagues that count hits, he is a fantastic defenseman to grab. Obviously, if you're looking for points, don't grab Gudas, but If hits are good for you in like a point-based league that you need hits, or in a categories league where you need hits, fantastic grab. Then I have Jared Spurgeon, who's top power play in Minnesota, always a good add there. Shane Gosper, top power play in Arizona, been pretty solid all year, so I really like him as well. Severson, who's top power play in New Jersey and has been really solid for the past few weeks, so definitely like him as well. Rasmus Ristolainen, who's also only a grab really in hits leagues because he doesn't really have a whole lot of value outside of them, but he is hitting a lot lately and giving himself a pretty safe floor. Ryan Pulock is giving himself a safe floor with block shots and is also putting up a point every now and then. Evan Bouchard is someone who's not seeing top power play time in Edmonton anymore, but is still managing to put up a point every couple of games, so I don't mind him as a streamer either. Then Ben Sherratt and Brandon Montour of the Florida Panthers. And Sherratt is a guy who likes to put up some solid peripherals, can also put up a point every now and then. Brandon Montour is someone who also can put up a point every now and then. And if Florida does decide to go to a 4-man, 1 defenseman system for their power play, which they aren't right now. They actually have 5 forwards on their power play, but if they do go to a 4-man system, I think Montour would be the defenseman on the point. So we'll have to wait and see, but Montour right now is playing some pretty decent hockey, so I don't mind picking him up. And I have Esa Lindell, who's always decent for peripherals and has been putting up a few points lately as well, so I don't hate that. Parayko is also a guy who's pretty decent for peripherals, blocks a decent amount of shots. So he's someone who's definitely addable for the safe floor that he gives. Then I have Jonas Brodin, who, doesn't put up the greatest numbers, but he does get a crazy amount of ice time, does put up some peripherals, and definitely could put up a point every now and then. Then I have Cam Fowler of the Anaheim Ducks, who does get a decent amount of power play time, and has been someone who's been pretty solid all year. And last one, we have Eric Chernak and Ryan McDonough. And last but not least, I have Eric Chernak, who's pretty good for a floor. He likes to hit the puck a decent amount. He shoots a little bit, and he also blocks a few shots now and then. So he does give a safe floor and does manage to put up a point every now and then as well. So don't hate him for a safe floor. Jumping into the categories league section of the video now, and for shots on goal, the number one guy that you could stream over 2 games is Tage Thompson, because he shoots 3.4 times a game. So over 2 games, you'll probably get 6 to 7 shots on goal, which is pretty solid. Then Jeff Skinner shoots 3.2 times per game, Atkinson 3.0, Eric Zanek 2.9, Tuck 2.9, Travis Konechny 2.7, Jared McCann 2.7, and Evgeny Dadonov 2.5. Then if you need blocks, number one guy to grab is Alec Martinez, who's finally back from that super long-term injury, and he blocks on average 2.9 times per game, and he was the league leader last year, so he's definitely the best guy for block shots. Then Calvin DeHaan is 2.5, Ryan Pulock 2.5, Jake McCabe 2.3, Colton Parayko 2.3, and Dyson Mayo 2.0. Then for hits, the number one guy, and it's not even close, it's Radko Gudas. He hits 4.7 times per game, and he's been hitting even more than that lately. He's been an absolute wrecking ball. Then Ryan Reeves hits 4.1. Reese Johnson, who right now as of this recording is in the lineup, hits 4.1. Just make sure he's still in the lineup when you pick him up. Cal Clutterbuck 3.9. Rasmus Ristolainen 3.6. And Matt Martin 3.5 hits per game. In over 2 games, you can double that number. And then here are the guys that are the best for face-off wins. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you watching all the way through. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I hope you guys win your week 1 of the playoffs if this is indeed your first week of the playoffs. Good luck, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.